I got a Daisy feeling. I got a Daisy feeling. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? I'm JABYBHAI, joined by Chart Kirk.
What's up?
We're looking at Cinema of India, my first impression video essay by Accented Cinema. Thanks so much for joining. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, vote this up. Please let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching while you subscribe. Or not voting, subscribe to Accented Cinema. There is a link in the description below. You can click on that link, give the original an upvote, and subscribe to him from there. Here we go.
I always wanted to get into Indian cinema, and I assume a lot of you do too. Famous for glamorous productions, entertaining dance sequences, and some of the most glorious mustaches ever seen on earth. It is fascinating and intimidating, not least because of all the untranslated titles. I mean, come on. And with so many separate industries combined to make the biggest film producing nation in the world, the water is way deep. So I asked you, our viewers, for movie recommendations and got absolutely flooded.
Wow, yeah,
I
that's
spent
not
the past
surprising.
week watching as many Indian films as possible, and I'm here to give you my first impressions. Specifically about the three biggest film industries in India: Hindi cinema of Bollywood, Tamil cinema of Kollywood, Telugu cinema of Tollywood, and tell you which films I think you should watch.
Okay.
Bear in mind, I'm a total amateur when it comes to the cinema of India. So, what I'm saying are almost purely my anecdotal experience with minimal research. With that out of the way, let's begin our journey through the colorful world of Indian cinema. To an average foreigner, Bollywood is practically synonymous with cinema of India.
Tollywood, Jollywood. There's a million names for it. We're calling it Bollywood because it sums it up nicely.
Sure.
However, this success is both a blessing and a curse.
Wow.
There is a
Getcha.
good chance that what's in your head right now isn't actually from Bollywood. Yes, none of those.
Yeah.
Bollywood actually specifically refers to the Mumbai film industry, which produces mostly Hindi language films. These films are relatively grounded and romantic, not too dissimilar to Hollywood musicals. Look at Sholay, the action classic from India, and you won't find any gravity-defying actions.
Yeah, it happens.
Nowadays,
It
yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
You know, sing them. It happens. It's the one with Akshay Kumar, the third one in that story of Vanshi.
Yeah.
Defining theme of classic Bollywood. Practically every Bollywood classic is a romance of some kind, such as 1995's DDLJ.
Love it.
It's a movie about a girl falling in love with a boy and with the boy's help fights against her arranged marriage. It sounds cheesy, but that's Bollywood for you. It's a very cozy viewing experience. It's all about knowing the outcome and excitedly waiting for it to happen. Now, I said love was the defining theme because in recent years, Bollywood seems to be diversifying. Dangal, for example, steps away from the melodrama formula. This 2016 movie tells the story of a father training his daughters to become sports wrestlers, and in the process, challenges Indian gender traditions, breaks gender norms. It is a beautifully written film, and became a bit of a gender equality piece in Asia.
छोरियों को देख रही है कल तू जीतेगी तो अकेले नहीं जीतेगी तेरे साथ उनके जैसी लाखों छोरियां जीतेंगी
The makeup job they did in that is so good.
Yeah.
Because he looks 10, 15 years younger now than he does in that movie. In this movie.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it is wild.
With Journey with Dangal, but really, when it comes to Bollywood, there is one movie we all know of.
Yeah.
Three Idiots is a 2009 coming-of-age comedy about the friendship between three engineering students. Fraternity, beer, music, porn mag, exams, the college experience is really universal. The approachable setting makes it an excellent entry movie. Yet, underneath its cozy exterior, the film is actually an intense criticism on the Indian education system and success culture. A culture that drives a lot of students into engineering, even if their passion is with, say, photography.
और ये कॉलेज है, प्रेशर कुकर नहीं.
If you haven't noticed, all of the best Bollywood movies have a knack.
It's like 3 of them, Amir Khan in a row.
I was half expecting him to say, have a knack for having Amir Khan.
I know.
For fighting against traditions, norms, and authorities, arranged marriage, sexism. But usually, these movies don't explore these themes deeply. They are, after all, cozy little entertainments. But Three Idiots went way above and beyond. Nearly every sequence satirizes the education system in some way.
दोस्त फेल हो जाए तो दुख होता है, लेकिन दोस्त फर्स्ट आ जाए तो ज़्यादा दुख होता है.
It sees the absurdity in the system and deals with it with a laughter. No doubt, many of us were forced by our parents into studying something we didn't want to, and spent years in a highly competitive schooling system destroying ourselves. Seeing our character confronting his father about this, it is touching.
आपके लिए जो भी करूंगा दिल से करूंगा. आज तक मैंने आपकी हर बात सुनी है. आज बस एक बार.
Thomas Shaw explores the same idea.
Through this film's endless wisdom, we get to experience the lives and friendships of these characters, but also the struggles of many students in India. We aren't just sightseeing, we get to know how the people of India perceive themselves. We get to know India. That's why I think Three Idiots is the best movie to get into Bollywood cinema.
लाइफ में कितनी भी बड़ी प्रॉब्लम हो ना, उसको बोलो कोई बात नहीं चाचू, सब ठीक ठाक है. All is well. All is well.
It's wild to me that he was in his 40s when they made that movie.
Was he really?
Well, it was from 2009, it said. 13 years ago, he was 45.
Shit.
Is my math off? Well, 2020, what year is it now? 2023, so 14 years ago. It's like 44 years old or something.
Wow. That is wild because he looks like.
It looks like, yeah, he's of that age.
Well, also, if the movie came out in 2009, like, they would have shot it earlier. But yeah, he's still.
44 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wild. Because he doesn't look it.
If Bollywood is sweet, Collywood is much spicier.
Mirchi.
Yeah.
Indeed, Collywood cinema seems to prefer the gritty dramatics. Music and dance take a backseat. Action and drama are the focus here.
That's not
This
entirely
is where you
true.
start finding your meme materials.
They like their music still.
But the one thing that really catches my eyes is that with a more aggressive style, Tamil movies also have more aggressive stories. Take Sorarai Potru, for example.
Love this film.
It tells the story of a countryman navigating the dangerous and corrupt business world, trying to establish a low-cost airline that can improve the lives of the poor. Instead of fun and uplifting, this movie is direct and is angry at the injustice.
That is a theme of South Indian films
Yeah,
I've seen a
yes,
lot. What
that is, yeah.
What he just described, we've seen so many times. So that is a fair assessment.
Do you think that's just like South Indian in general or specifically Tamil?
I honestly, to this day, 6-7 years in, still get confused between Tamil and Telugu. So whatever area Rajnikanth is from,
Tamil,
then yes,
Yeah.
it is Tamil. Oftentimes, films out of that region express this feeling.
Yeah.
So-
and it's always like one man against the system.
One man against the world.
Yeah.
The main character fights to stop the train, a train that ignores the poor and serves only the privileged. We see the violence front and center. Even 2.0, which is really just a CGI fest entertainment film, spends a lot of time delving into its environmentalist discussion. And with that in mind, the movie I want to talk about is probably not an obvious choice,
Super
but
Deluxe.
it is
Yeah.
so good and so clever, I have to share it. Super Deluxe is a 2019 black comedy. It's a Pulp Fiction style anthology film where many stories intersect. In one story, 5 teenagers gather to watch porn, only to find out the actress is one of the teens' mom. Meanwhile, a young boy and his family are waiting for the return of his father after 7 years, only to find out the father is now a woman. How's that for a twist? In both cases, we see characters unable to accept the shocking reveal. And that was all just the setup. It only escalates from here.
It's true.
This
Yeah.
movie sees the humor in these people's self-pity.
எனக்கு எது கஷ்டம்னு புரியல இவ்வளோ நாள் புருஷன் இல்லாமல் வாழ்ந்துதான் இல்லை இனிமே இப்படி ஒரு புருஷனோட வாழ்த்தான்
As if they are the ones suffering. Well, guess what? The only one who isn't suffering is the kid. The innocent child who sees no problem with his dad being a woman. He just asks questions and tries to understand.
நம்ம செருப்பு போடும்போது சில சமயம் காலை மாற்றி போட்டுப்போம் இல்லையா அந்த மாதிரி சாமி என்னோட உடம்பு மாற்றி போட்டுருச்சு.
That's a very cute line.
Yeah. That is very sweet.
It's nicely handled. I feel like I need to watch this again.
Me too, actually.
Yeah. I just remember the alien thing really throwing me off.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I thought it was a very, very well-made, interesting conversation piece.
Yeah, I would love to watch this again, actually, just to kind of refresh on it, because it is just looking at the images here back again, like the aesthetic style just really pops, and we knew right away just from looking at it, like the colors and everything. We're like, oh yeah, that's super deluxe. But
But you get that style more in the South, I feel like, than you do in Bollywood, just in general.
Sure.
You know, if you compare, I feel like you're often going to get that sort of vibrant, saturated look.
Sarcastic humor, the film pokes fun at people's obsession with family reputation. All that anguish came from their own prejudice against others. It's a very dense movie with a lot more going on than what I just summarized. It's normal to get confused by this film, but that is part of fun.
இந்த வாழ்க்கை அர்த்தமற்றது ஆனால் உன்னதமானது. நம் வாழ்வில் மிக மிக உன்னதமானது என்று ஒன்று உண்டென்றால் அது இந்த வாழ்க்கையே தான்.
If you are into more indie, art house, counterculture stuff, Super Deluxe is, with no exaggeration, one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
And also one of the most beautiful.
That's a huge compliment coming from someone who does nothing but study film. That's nothing to just like kind of
take lightly.
That's a huge compliment.
This is literally every frame a painting.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. Just aesthetically, it's gorgeous.
While Tamil cinema certainly has some big action films, the ones recommended by our audience are generally more reserved. Business drama, family drama, the drama is hidden in the undercurrent. That doesn't appear to be the case for Telugu films. For Tollywood, action is the drama. For a wacky superhero movie like Iga, to a serious crime action flick, the action is well imagined, well realized, and it is as impressive as it is story driven. The edge is on full display. Look at Dangal, a Bollywood sports flick. The drama happens mostly in training. Each match is less about the action itself and more about the subtext and implication, all except the climactic last match. Compare that to Jersey, the 2019 Telugu film about a 36-year-old retired cricketer trying to get back into the game. The film pays equal attention to the personal drama as well as the development of each match. Jersey takes a great deal of time to let each game plays out, reveling in its form and spectacle. It is a drama film and an action film.
Yes, he goes for it again.
I think that's a fair assessment because when I watched Jersey, I think I had a better understanding of what was going on than when I watched 83. 83, I was just more captured by the emotion of it all.
Right.
And I guess what the stakes meant to the characters, but as far as the game went, I was lost.
Right.
As I think that was what I remember saying when I watched Jersey, is that, like, because I watched it twice. Pretty sure that was the movie where I was like, yeah, I'm following all this really well, and like the specifics of the game and all of like its impact and whatnot. Versus in 83, I was just like, oh, okay, they won. Oh, they lost. Okay. Oh, they were losing right now. Okay, they're winning right now. I have no idea.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it comes to Telugu action, there is only one movie in our mind. Bahubali is a 2015 fantasy epic about an exiled king returning to claim his throne. The action in this movie is second to none. You'll find plenty of gravity-defying stuff here, yet it is done with just enough drama and gravitas that it never quite becomes shockingly silly or shockingly stupid. It walks the fine line between fantasy and reality.
Angry Birds.
Yeah, that was Bahubali 2, not the beginning.
I don't look at these as two separate films. You get to the end of part one, it's like, well, that's half a movie.
No, I agree with you. Like, I'm jealous of the people who just binge watched part 1 and part 2, like Steph and Andrew did, because we had to wait a long time to get part 2. But yeah, you're right in that sense. It does feel like it is supposed to be one movie.
Something that even his sequel couldn't quite manage. Goes to show how difficult this style really is.
Yeah.
Yet in this film, there are also romantic themed, extravagant songs and dances, a simple good versus evil folktale, as well as the sharp and gritty drama. It has a little bit of everything. The titular Bahubali is a fun character too. Guess what makes him the god's chosen one? What makes him a great king that everyone loves? We see him willing to sit beside slaves and share a meal. We see him spare an innocent sacrificial animal and chooses to use his own blood as an offering. We see him move the lingam to the waterfall, a sacrilege to any common man, just so his mother can do less hard work. He's a good king because he's willing to challenge unnecessary traditions for the good of the common people. I'm sensing a theme here.
Yep.
If you are more interested in the crazier side of Indian cinema, and let's be honest, who isn't, Bahubali is the go-to film. It's crazy but serious. It's creative but traditional. It has all the good things you would expect from an Indian production. On this channel, whenever I bring up modern-day Indian movies, I usually show this movie. I can't pronounce it, purely because it has some fantastic visuals. And every time I use it, there'll be at least one Indian viewer saying, "This movie sucks."
Yeah.
After I sat my ass down and seriously watched some Indian movies, I think I can finally see why.
కానీ సక్సెస్ మటుకు అందరికీ దక్కదు, ఎక్కడో వందలో ఒక్కలకి.
It's fun to indulge in a world fantasy, but nothing is quite as satisfying as seeing an underdog hero wins.
நான் இல்லாம போனாலும் சரி, நீங்க என்னத்த பண்ணாலும் சரி, ஏரோட்ரவுன் ஏரோப்ளேன்ல போயாச்சு, இனியும் போவாங்க.
In my journey to experience the films of India, I saw a nation of industries that belongs to the common folk. Indian cinema challenges the rich, the powerful, the authority, the corruption, the prejudice, the regressive. It is a forward-thinking art form with eyes looking into a better future. And that is the best part of this journey. It inspires me to be better, to do better, to make things better. And my journey into the cinema of India has only just begun.
That was a really nice video essay.
That was a really nice one. To what he's saying, yes, absolutely. To a lot of the really great films that have come out of Indian cinema, they really do speak to those themes that he's talking about. But then again, there are also some movies that are just silly.
Yeah.
But you could say that about any.
I just thought this was very well put together, and I think that his assessment, for the most part, it was actually on point. Like, the way he boiled everything down to these very simple ideas that a foreigner, a fellow foreigner, like an American, could watch. And I say foreigner, I mean foreigner to India, right? I could throw this at anyone who asks about Indian cinema. I've ingested so much more than he has, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for me to kind of convey certain ideas sometimes to certain people when they ask me questions. And so I feel like this is actually a great starting point, a great jump point for anyone who's curious about Indian cinema. Like, okay, I'm going to send this video to them.
Yeah.
And then from there, I can recommend other movies.
Sure.
This is actually an extremely helpful, boiled down, nuts and bolts kind of thing for Indian cinema, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's very, very accessible.
As someone who's extremely familiar with all of this, I'm like, I actually still really enjoyed this video.
Yeah, it's like really well put together. The arguments or the conversation, it flows really well. The examples that he's using support it very well. And so just overall, just a very strong video.
You guys, thanks so much for hanging out. I'm JABYBHAI. This is
Achara Cook.
Peace out.